There's just too much meat in this podcast.
Meat.
A modern podcast where Chris and Mike talk about TV, movies, superheroes, and everything in between. It's time for Superhero Slate.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris Dillard.
And my name's Mike Royer.
And this weekend, we're both recovering from San Diego Comic-Con.
Whoa.
And only one of us actually went. Also, Batman is fighting Superman.
Uh-huh.
Deadpool's leaked trailer is pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil gets to filming, and more.
Oh, man. This was such an intense week. I mean, we started getting crazy news before the con even, unofficially started on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been, things on Monday feel like they were a month ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was looking through our show notes, and I was like, didn't we talk about this stuff last week? And it's just like, last episode? It's like, no, we didn't. It just came out on Monday or Tuesday, and then the con made us forget about it all. So yeah. We're gonna go over it all for sure. But man, this is kind of crazy because I'm gonna equate Comic-Con to kind of going to a professional sports event, like a football game. Like I was at the football game and I got to see it in person and experience it, but I didn't necessarily have the best seats. You're the guy at home watching all the replays and everything on his screen and everything. So I think I was getting most of my news from you 2,000 miles away on my phone than from the people actually on the con.
Yeah, so funny story, I was actually at my friend's bachelor party all day, and I had no computer to actually access this, so I'm frantically finding ways to save footage and images, on websites to my phone so I can pull them up later before the corporations come through and take them down.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have the patience to wait in line for the big halls with all the big news. So I basically just have to go by word of mouth around the con, what I hear in the hallways. So man, it was crazy. It's a fun weekend. There's so much stuff going on, but I mean, I don't get all the juicy news until you text it to me. So thank you for all that work.
You're welcome. Thanks for being our reporter on the floor. What was your favorite part? I mean, I've been to several Comic Cons, but San Diego's the mecca of Comic Cons. What's your favorite part? Did you get anything cool or anything?
So the cool thing that happened this weekend is we managed to weasel our way into the rooftop party that Sci-Fi was throwing for Sharknado 3, and that was fun. I wouldn't say it's the swankiest party at Comic-Con. I believe the E Hollywood or the E magazine or whatever they are now, they throw the kind of the official Comic-Con party for all the celebrities on Saturday, but we kind of went to this I guess a little bit more chill one on Friday, and that was really cool. I think the only celebrity that was kind of doting around when we were there was Carmen Electra, and she kind of just she looked like a waxed figure, it looked like I was at the wax museum, but she was just enchanted and walking around and stuff like that. So that was kind of bizarre, but apparently we got there too late because Chris Hardwick was there earlier and Grant Imahara from Mythbusters was there earlier, so we missed all that stuff. But there was free drinks, and there was a bizarre candy room that printed off Instagram photos. It was kind of crazy, but it was fun. So that was kind of my first Comic-Con party that we got to go to.
Well, that sounds fun.
So that was entertaining for sure, but Comic-Con's always such a blur. It's it takes a couple days to take it all in, and by the time you take all the news in, all the news is old. We'll be getting new footage and stuff just in a couple weeks probably. So well, it goes by quickly.
Oh, one of my favorite things at Comic-Cons, I always come back with swag. No matter how much I tell myself I'm not going to buy anything, I always come back with something. Did you buy anything on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, we went by some of the independent comic booths, and I picked up some comics from.
You got comics at a Comic-Con.
Yeah, I did.
That's good.
And it was even an independent artist. I got to meet the guy and shake his hand. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I want to make sure maybe we put his website in the show notes, because he was really nice. He was really nice to me and my wife. He like signed all the books and stuff that he sold to us, and he was a cool guy. So we'll go ahead and drop him in the show notes. Maybe we can get him a little notoriety. Yeah. Get some fans over to his website. But yeah, it was fun. We got some Age of Apocalypse posters, which I think we're going to talk about here later in the show, that magically disappeared from my backpack. So I don't know if they just fell out in the crowd or we lost them. But yeah, so I mean, this was my 4th year, so I've been coming back with less and less swag, because I've noticed it's easier to manage the convention the less stuff you have to carry around. But it was fun.
You did not dress up this year, correct?
No, I did not dress up, because it was so late in the game. You know, for the longest time I didn't think we were going to go, but we finally got badges in like the 11th hour, miraculously. So we didn't really plan any costumes, but
see, that's a mistake. I always have a costume ready to go if any Comic-Con wants me at any minute.
you got to be prepared.
Yeah. But I mean, again, back to the Superhero Slate. You took Superhero Slate stickers there, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if we have any new listeners for this episode, if you got a sticker, it was because you were smiling. I noticed very quickly it's easier to hand stuff out to people if they look like they're having a good time. The people that kind of had their arms to themselves, you know, kind of had not necessarily a scowl on their face, but they seemed to be like on a mission to get to a room. I didn't try to bother them handing them a sticker, but, you know, if people were like walking with their friends and smiling, they would gladly take a sticker. And you know, it's usually easier to hand out something that has a little bit of function to it, like a sticker, than like a flyer, because there's people all outside of the convention that don't bother to get badges inside, that are just handing out flyers like nonstop, and no one really wants a flyer. You know, a sticker they can put to use at least.
Well, those were some nice stickers, and hopefully we have some listeners listening to our cheeky podcast that's grabbing your attention.
Yeah, I had a little, some of the group of friends that we went with, I had them be our street team, and I split up the stickers, and they helped handed it out. I believe one of them promised free porn. So I think
we have a lot to live up to at this point.
Yeah, I think he was just like free porn, and just handed out the stickers. So I'm sorry if you guys are disappointed, but you know, maybe that drew you in at least to the show.
Yeah, and you took a picture with our sticker and the San Diego Comic-Con logo. Was that correct?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw that up in our featured image that said we officially attended the con in some capacity.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad. It sounds like you had a fun time. I'm glad you did.
It was crazy, but like I'm so ready to talk about all this stuff, just because like I've been so exhausted all weekend. I haven't been able to properly geek out. So let's do it.
Are you ready? You're ready to geek out. All right. Well.
Oh man, I'm so ready.
All right. First up, foremost, welcome to the news segment of the Superhero Slate. We're gonna talk about Batman vs Superman.
Oh yeah.
What happened with it?
I think this is easily. I don't want to say the biggest news of the convention, because it's not necessarily news, but it's definitely the most excitement that I think came out of the con this year. Because as we all know, Marvel Studios did not attend, but that still didn't mean people didn't show up strong. So, man, this is like our first full-length trailer, and like, I don't know, what did you take away from it? What kind of vibe did you get off of it?
So again, I got to watch all this stuff on my phone yesterday, much probably like you did, and really got to absorb it today. First and foremost, it feels like the Batman vs Superman is a Batman movie first and foremost. I feel like Superman and this is just from the trailer, he feels more like an ancillary character. Like this is a response to one of my complaints about Man of Steel, that they didn't talk about the repercussions of the damage. And this is a film answering for that.
Yeah, and that just makes me think, because I feel like this was always the idea that Batman and Superman was in Zack Snyder's head while he was making Superman. So I feel like when the whole internet and fan base was complaining that, you know, Superman destroyed a whole city and he killed somebody and that's not what Superman does, I feel like Zack Snyder was just kind of sitting in the wings, just like, don't worry. Like, I'm not worried. This will all make sense when I finally get to show this trailer and everything. So he kind of almost just had to bite his lip for 2 years there. So I think he's finally going to give us something really cool. It makes a whole lot of sense why Batman's all pissed off right now. So I think that's perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of Batman in this. I mean, I think Batman looks great. And that's something, you know, we've all kind of talked about. Ben Affleck as Batman, man. But I mean, we didn't have a lot to go on yet, and I honestly think he's probably stronger than Henry Cavill is a Superman. And I feel good about that. We got to see Wonder Woman in action.
Yeah, we did.
Couple things I've been speculating that Zod's body would play into this movie.
Yeah, and then they showed his corpse.
They did. What the fuck's up with Lex Luthor? Can't figure that one out yet.
Yeah, I mean, we get the first reveal of him in that bald head, and then in the trailer, all we got is his hair.
Yeah, he's like petting Superman or something in one scene as well.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, man.
I mean, I get Lex Luthor's like some sort of master manipulator, right? And politician and whatnot. So I'm kind of interested to see where they go with that, and I think that it leaves more questions than answers, and that's okay. That's definitely okay. And I think lastly, the last thing I kind of feel is, it feels like watching a comic book.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
visually, it is like Zack Snyder. You look at Watchmen; he did a great job with Watchmen, and Sucker Punch is visually beautiful. This looks like a comic book.
Yeah, I mean, this trailer is dense. I mean, it's not a short trailer. What this ran over 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, I think it's a couple minutes there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this trailer was dense. We get so many little bits of story that's going to be going through this movie. I mean, when I watch this trailer, it feels like a summer blockbuster. I think more than maybe the trailers for Ultron did. I think the biggest kind of vibe I take away from this trailer is, man, it seems dark. I mean, there's no light, there's no humor in this at all. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just say that I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's totally fine if Marvel wants to be kind of the tongue-in-cheek, fun action summer movies, and I think it's fine if DC wants to be more brooding and serious. I don't think that's going to make the movie any worse. I mean, I was never really, the problems I had with Superman never was the humor in it. I'm not going to a summer blockbuster to laugh every once in a while. It can be action packed and serious. That's fine. But we've talked about the little problems we've had with Superman before. But yeah, I love the seriousness of this trailer. They played up a lot of the themes of like gods in this, and not necessarily just Superman being a god, but just when Superman and Batman fight, it's like two gods battling each other. I really liked that portion of it, and I got to see all the costumes in person at the con. They had them behind these really nice glass display cases. I got to get my nose right up to the glass, and I looked these costumes up and down, and man, they look slick in person. I mean, that armored Batman suit looks fierce. They had its eyes glowing on the convention floor. I got to see Wonder Woman's costume up front. The detail on that looks great. So I think they're gonna look great on screen. This looks like it's gonna be like tons of fun, and it's just gonna be action packed. And I'm like super hyped for it. I mean, this is crazy. I think the sore thumb that stood out a little bit is I'm still not really sure how Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg, kind of his character fits into this. I get like what he may be facilitating in the story, but I don't understand what this hair is going to be like. That's the thing I think I brought up a week ago is I'm not really looking forward to the quote unquote iconic scene where he's going to shave his head or something. Are we going to get like glamour shots of him in front of a mirror like shaving his head, and then suddenly his character will never be the same again? So I don't know what's going on there with his hair, but it's a little distracting. But man, overall that trailer is crazy.
It definitely is. I think it's actually closer to 3.5 minute trailer, which is fairly long.
Dense, meaty.
There's a lot going on. A couple, things you can point out is, again, Wonder Woman looks pretty powerful. There's kryptonite that Lex Luthor has. We get to see that actually exists. And some of the scenes with Bruce Wayne are actually, during the Man of Steel fight with Zod. And I thought that was kind of interesting. So yeah, I mean, it's hype. A lot of people are hyped. Again, I'm glad that I'm glad Marvel didn't go. I think Marvel and DC are. There's never like which one do you like more. It's more like they're respectable business people, and they were like, we don't want to compete with each other. And one thing get lost in the hype of another thing. So I think I'm glad that Batman vs Superman was the only official trailer that came out of this. And I think it definitely built my hype and everyone else's hype for this film.
Yeah, I mean, heck, that just leaves us something to look forward to in August when Marvel gets to come to the plate.
Yeah.
But yeah, this just looks great. I think it's going to be tons of fun.
Yeah. So great. Along with that, we saw the Suicide Squad had a panel as well. And a couple things to note: they have another new logo. I think we just did this last week or 2 weeks ago. with the Suicide Squad logo. The new one is way different. If you take a look at it, it doesn't have like, you know, the gun and the red. It's, you know, metal. It's red and blue. I presume it's like cop lights or whatever. And then the Q is a dog tag with a weird looking happy face. I don't care so much about the logo for Suicide Squad. They need to sell me on the movie. But they did a trailer at Comic-Con that was leaked, not officially released, and we kind of have it to watch. People who are on YouTube will probably have watched it already. We're not going to stop this podcast to talk about it, but if you're watching the YouTube version, you will see the trailer in all its leaked glory, and I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are keeping up along the lines of the serious broodingness. I mean, there's really not any like tongue-in-cheek humor in this trailer. It seems like they're definitely setting up this Warner Brothers universe to be something serious. They kind of had this kind of strange kind of classical music going on through the trailer, which kind of made it feel a little uneasy. But I think the biggest thing to come out of the trailer is that we finally got to see the Joker say something. We finally got to see him kind of embody the character just for like a couple seconds, because we've seen tons and tons of shots official leaked of all the other characters, you know, so that really wasn't much to me, you know. I mean, we saw Killer Croc for a brief second, which looked kind of cool, but yeah, the biggest news was definitely seeing the Joker saying that he wants to hurt people. So he looked pretty vicious in there. He looked pretty psychotic, and I think that's going to work well for the movie.
Yeah, I do, and I think this one's not nearly as dark and or brooding as maybe you make it sound. Like, because at the Joker's line, he's like, I don't want to kill you. I just want to hurt you really, really bad. Like, it's more of a darker humor, but I don't think it's broody. And I think this one will have to play off that, because you got so many weird people in this.
Yeah,
yeah, Harley Quinn, who you probably can't be taken serious. We saw Batman on the roof of the pink Ferrari finally, and there's not a lot to take from it, but I hope they release this trailer, or at least some footage, sooner than later. I know it's really, really early in their marketing cycle because the movie doesn't come out till next August. But I'm very, very impressed with this, and I really want to see more.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is pretty crazy. I think this is the quickest and I've ever seen trailers come out. So far, the only thing that we don't really have leaked fully is the Apocalypse trailer. But usually these trailers are specifically cut just for Comic-Con. So when they finally officially release them, they won't be exactly the same iteration. Yeah, it makes me think, what's it going to take for them to make these trailers come out fully? You know, we had a leaked trailer before. What was it, Ultron, that leaked early, and then they just released it officially? Yeah,
with that one, that was an official trailer, the Marvel, and it came out, I think, 4 or 5 days early. Marvel's like, hell with it.
Yeah,
everybody can have it.
Yeah, so I don't know if these are gonna officially come out. I think they're gonna stay leaked cams. But yeah, this looks interesting. I definitely, the Joker is what sold me. If the Joker wasn't in this trailer, I don't think I would have been excited.
Yeah, it's again, I agree, and it's the first time we saw Harley Quinn on there as well. Just to point out, in video, like, we've seen her in pictures, but not actually in footage. And I think they're getting it, they're nailing it. Hopefully they don't have to redo anything, and you know, who knows, maybe this movie will be successful to have a sequel before we know it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like an unexpected sequel, so to speak.
Yeah, who knows, but yeah, at least we got it, so that was cool.
Yes, so yeah, that was it. So there's some rumors that we've kind of been talking about this week on and off about a Batman movie. You kind of, you know, we talked about, the rumor is Ben Affleck is, you know, going to direct and like star in the Batman movie that comes out in like 2018. And he's gonna write it with the people who wrote Justice League. Or I guess Batman, Chris Terrio, his writing partner for Batman vs Superman. What do you think about that? I mean, we've talked about it a little bit back and forth via text, but I mean, honestly, how do you feel about that? They did not announce anything. It's just a rumor through Deadline. But I mean, do you think that this hype for Batman will be enough to bring his own movie in 3 years? Well,
I feel like this is a pretty strong rumor. I feel like most rumors that have been coming out. They seem just really far-fetched, but this one seemed to have some weight to it, and Deadline seemed to be really, really positive this was real. And I think it also helps that it doesn't sound out of the ordinary. I mean, the actor who is playing Batman is a very accomplished director who is basically, I think he's either batting like 4 for 4 or 5 for 5 with like 90% Rotten Tomato rating. So Ben Affleck is a good director, and him making a Batman movie would be amazing. But I feel like an announcement this far out for a director, you can never really be too sure. You know, I feel like announcing that there is going to be a Batman movie will hold some weight and not go anywhere. But directors change all the time. I mean, we thought Edgar Wright was going to be making Ant-Man up until like really close to where it got a little uncomfortable for people looking forward to the movie. So I could definitely see maybe Ben Affleck dropping out and just going to somebody else. So
see, I'm gonna stop there and disagree, because if he drops out, he's not gonna be Batman anymore.
Well, no, I mean dropping out being the director.
I think if he's going to do a Batman movie that's not announced, I think he's going to direct it. I just, that's my vibe on this. But I'm being more skeptical on this news, because if it was so close to Comic-Con, like, why didn't they just say, they don't have to say that we have a director and a writer, but there's the Batman coming. It would definitely mess up the release slate. So I don't know. We've talked about this. I kind of want to put it out there. Maybe we can get other people's opinion on it. If you're listening and you want to see a Batman movie, what do you want it to be?
Yeah, I've heard some rumors that out of the trailer, people think that the Red Hood might possibly be set up in the universe by now. But I think the great thing about kind of this being a Batman Returns type of scenario, or the Dark Knight Returns scenario, like, he's been retired for a while. All of these characters, like, you know, Robin, have been set up, so you don't really have to do too much legwork to bring a character into the universe. You know, we know Batman has had a history of fighting people, so that makes sense. But I don't think anyone would be upset if Ben Affleck directed his own Batman movie. You know, I think we're going to see a little bit of Affleck and his inspiration in the Batman vs. Superman movie, because, I mean, Zack Snyder might be directing it, but there's no way Zack Snyder could ignore advice from a success like Affleck. So
yeah, and I honestly, I think, you know, next year DC's got 2 movies, and they're both very Batman heavy. I mean, Suicide Squad is Batman Rogues, and, you know, Batman vs. Superman's in the title. So I think they'd be unwise to try to wait until 2020 to get a Batman movie out with Ben Affleck.
Yeah, who knows how much that slate will change. I think, honestly, it was just a rush to claim weekend Friday dates before Marvel got a chance to claim them. So I think all that stuff is very fluid, since no titles have officially been announced.
However, I'm actually going to correct you. Our next one is the Green Lantern movie, scheduled for like 20, as a new title.
Oh, well, then that's claiming a slot somewhere then.
Yes, it's down the road. It's the Green Lantern Corps is what the movie will be called.
Yeah, and I think you're going to have to fill me in here, because the most knowledge I have about Green Lantern is from, like, the Justice League show back when, you know, we were kids. So all I know is that there's been different lanterns throughout history, you know, different humans that have become the Green Lantern. And so it sounds like they're really running with this kind of future DC universe where there's been a past that we just don't know about.
Yeah, so I mean, if anyone's watched the Green Lantern movie, the Ryan Reynolds one, you know, there's more than one Green Lantern. It's not just a title. Like, there's only one Superman, right? There's one Batman. Green Lantern is I guess, cosmic police force is the best way to describe it. And each one has a quadrant, and, like, as you know, as a whole, they're the Green Lantern Corps. You know, it's military lingo, pretty straightforward. So instead of having just a Green Lantern solo movie, I think they're going to focus more on people who have been Green Lanterns for a while. And I think that's where we're going to get Chris Pine and possibly Tyrese. What's his last name? Gibson.
I don't know. My opinion on Tyrese has changed recently. I've new information that's come to light about Tyrese.
Okay, well, they're really pulling. We think Chris Pine's going to be Green Lantern, and but the Green Lantern Corps, just want to give you a movie title. That was an update they gave this weekend. What is your opinion on Tyrese? I want to hear this.
Well, this is a little different. I mean, I don't think he's anything particularly fantastic. I mean, I saw the Fast and Furious movies. Nothing exactly stood out. So I'm not saying whether he could accomplish the role, but I guess he's under a little hot water recently. He's kind of quote unquote freebooting things off the internet to promote his Facebook channel. So I don't obviously think it's him directly, but it's whoever he's hired to manage his Facebook page. But he has like one of like the top 10 liked Facebook pages right now, because what he'll do is he'll go and find these viral videos, like a kid falling over in his Minion suit, and he basically rips the video and downloads it. He uploads it to his Facebook channel, and then in the submission post, he puts like a short link to his album on iTunes. So these videos, these viral videos that he's putting up to show his audience are getting like millions of views, and this is basically like a way for him to support his album, videos he's never made, and he doesn't link back to the original source. So I think that's pretty shady, and it's pretty shitty because, we both make basically free stuff for the internet, and I would be mad if someone was taking our stuff trying to promote their new album. So I don't know. I think it's kind of shady. I don't know if he really understands what he's doing, because I'm sure he's kind of disconnected with the internet. He's a movie star. He's too worried about being on set. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd like to see Tyrese now that he's stealing people's shit.
Well, I don't. I mean, I'm gonna go on the thing coming from a marketing point of view / PR. I think it's not him. I don't think he has that skill or knowledge to do it. It's probably someone who's been put in charge. Like maybe Tyrese's manager hired someone to say, hey, do this, and he's just kind of there for it.
Yeah, well, he needs to knock that shit off.
Yeah.
So, Tyrese, we know you listen to our podcast. Knock it off.
Yeah, or tell whoever's doing it to knock it off.
Yeah, there's a good chance that we may be reporting about you on and off for the next couple weeks, so if you want us to say nice things, knock it off.
Yeah. So, we're going to jump gears a little bit into Fox's universe here. Just a couple things that was early on in the week, not Comic-Con related. Fantastic Four 2, they want Bryan Singer. Fox wants Bryan Singer to direct this, was the rumor, which would lead to a X-Men crossover film in 2018-ish.
Well, it sounds like they're starting to lean into the Fantastic Four movie. We don't really know anything about this movie yet. I saw a little bit of news that they canned the 3D release of the movie.
We said that months ago that they were going to stop the 3D release, and finally they're like, no, we're not, and then now they're like, yeah, we are.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that process was just shitty. I mean, it sounds like there's some timeline production issues. We just haven't heard a lot of good things come out about this movie. All we have to go on is kind of the trailers that we've seen, and I don't know. I'm not really excited to see this movie. I'm going to see the movie for sure, because I got to see what's going on. But yeah, it's on shaky ground right now, and we've seen a franchise pulled. We saw the Spider-Man franchise pulled. They had a whole slate of movies coming up. We heard about, crossovers and standalone Venom movies. So just because Fox is saying that we might get a Fantastic Four 2 and a crossover, if their first movie doesn't do well, I think we can go ahead and assume that this could be canned.
See, I think regardless of what this first movie does, that if they can get Bryan Singer to do the sequel, like that's the gold right there. I think it's Spider-Man 1 and 2 suffered from having Mark Webb. Like if they said we're gonna have Josh Trank direct 2, I'd be like, no, I'm out. Because I don't like Josh Trank. I didn't care for Chronicle as much as everyone else does, and I think he's one of those got lucky, and then it went to his head, and then he found out he couldn't really do anything else.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when you think about these universes that are being set up. Fox's universe is revolving around Bryan Singer. The Warner Brothers DC universe is revolving around Zack Snyder. But then when you come over to Marvel, this universe that has been embedded for years now, it doesn't revolve around a director. It revolves around Kevin Feige. So it's kind of strange, We have directors helming some universes, and then we kind of have like producer studio heads, helming others. So, who knows if that's kind of connected to the quality of the films. I don't know. But I am okay with what's going on over with Fox. I don't really know about Fantastic Four yet, but X-Men has sprung back to life, surprisingly, something I never thought it would do. And then something that we're going to roll into in our next segment. You know, we had even more exciting Fox news.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to talk about Fantastic Four 1 real quick, just something that came up. Toby Kebbell, the guy who plays Doctor Doom in the new one, says there are 2 Doctor Doom outfits, so the one we saw in the trailer might not be the last one.
Okay.
So we may get a more traditional Doctor Doom by the end of that, and I just kind of want to throw that out there because I saw that over the weekend. I'm like, yeah, if people are on the fence about Doctor Doom or whatever, like, it'll change. Like, we've seen costumes change in the middle of films. Yeah. And be different by the end. But what you're really pointing out here is Deadpool.
Yeah, this was, I think, my most anticipated kind of panel at the con. Obviously, I didn't go to it because I didn't want to wait in line for 40 hours to get into Hall H. But I'm just glad the trailer leaked because we all wanted to see some of this good juiciness.
Right. So, I'm surprised they didn't put this one out as well, as because the movie comes out in February, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Batman and Superman's May or March, and they have a trailer. So, I was expecting this to be released. But Deadpool, they're going for that hard R on this leaked trailer.
Oh, yeah. And I think this is very much attributed to it being a Comic-Con trailer because they know that they weren't screening this to the public. So they didn't have to worry about like it being like a red band trailer. They didn't have to worry too much about censoring it for the audience or whatnot. But this trailer didn't quite sell me as much as the Batman Superman trailer did. You know, I don't know if this is attributed to the quality of the cam footage that we saw. It seemed to have the front half of the trailer seemed to have a different vibe than the second half of the trailer, but I did like a lot of the things that were in it. The one thing I was looking for that we got one little bit of is he nodded to the camera. You know, he broke that fourth wall. You know, he talked to the audience, which is I think is the quintessential characteristic of Deadpool is when he breaks from his narrative and talks outside to the viewers. So I got to see that, and that's what made me feel safe. So what's like the one thing, your favorite thing that came out of this league?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with the humor overall. It's pure Deadpool humor. All the way through and through, and I don't need the fourth wall breaking, but like when he's sitting there in the car and he's like, "You're probably wondering why I wear a red suit," and you know, like this guy's got the idea. He's wearing brown pants, and stuff like that. And then he just goes on like a killing, and he goes and murders those things. But then we also got to see Colossus.
Oh yeah.
You know, Colossus is in the trailer with teenage Negasonic Warhead and what the shit. That is the coolest name ever, is what he said. And
then we got some good old fashioned swearing, and there was some gore, and there was some blood. Something that it kind of felt awkward at first, almost, because I'm used to my my superhero movies appealing to everybody, broad audiences, and now I'm kind of like I was taken back. I was like, whoa, there was swearing in this. It kind of almost felt gratuitous, where it's just like, oh, they're just swearing for the sake of swearing. It's just like, no, they're not. This is the first time they've been able to swear. Like superheroes swear, if they get beat up and they're killing people, they got to let some of that out.
Yeah, I think the hard R is more towards the language than the actual probably violence in the film. Especially when we get to T.J. Miller talking about what Deadpool looks like with his mask off.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I'm excited for this. I would like to see, like you said, the high def version.
Oh, yeah.
But I did also enjoy the nods to the leaked test footage. It's not the same exact test footage, but they filmed some very similar scenes to it.
Oh yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna run along the same lines of things that are happening. Maybe not the same dialogue we get inside of the SUV that he jumps into, but yeah, there was even nods to the Green Lantern suit.
Oh man, that was again. I think that's like one of those things where you talk about maybe breaking the fourth wall, but like a nod to the audience without actually nodding to the audience.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of. I think that might be the first punch pulled in this kind of DC versus Marvel battle. I mean, the fans obviously have been fueling the fire, but I think this is the first time we've ever had a Marvel movie kind of tongue-in-cheek mention a DC movie on film, like written into the script. Or, you know, even if it was ad-libbed, like that was officially put into a cut of a trailer. So like, bam, Marvel is just like I don't think they're necessarily worried, because obviously any superhero movie being successful is good for all superhero movies. But it's kind of fun seeing them like take a knock at each other.
Yeah, and especially because, again, this isn't Marvel, this is Fox.
Yeah.
And Fox really doesn't have the strongest stable.
Yeah, but well, obviously when I say Marvel, I'm just kind of thinking like Marvel versus
characters.
the comics,
Right. And, well, I mean, if Marvel did it, I'd be like, ooh, fighting words.
Yeah.
But Fox is like the underdog. I mean, yes, they have X-Men, but they also have Fantastic Four. And then Deadpool's kind of out of left field here. And something else, one of the characters from the leaked script a few months ago, there's a character called Blind Al, a lady who, like, I wouldn't say mentors Deadpool, but is like kind of like a liaison. I don't know how to put it. Well, she was cast. Leslie Uggams was confirmed as cast as Blind Al. Oh, okay. And she's the lady who said, "It sounds like you got a dick in your mouth."
Hey, what does he say? It like it smells like granny panties in here.
Yeah, and she's like, "It sounds like you have a dick in your mouth." So
you look like an avocado that had sex with an older avocado.
Yeah, see, there's just lines like that just roll off, and I'm like, yeah, they get it. Like this is they didn't hold back. Like this is. Nothing. No one's telling them. There's no standards and practices saying like you can't do that.
Yeah,
they're just having a good time.
I think it's very obvious.
It's a love letter.
Yeah, I'm still very confident that I think this movie is going to break all February records. I had to remember back really quick. I was just like, wait, did Titanic come out in February? I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that was a summer movie. But I think it's going to shatter all the February records that are out there. I mean, a superhero rated R movie coming out in February, it's gonna outshine all of its competition, and it's going to destroy the box office because it's going to be the only thing people can really go see that month. So I think we're definitely going to be talking about box office records, come next February.
Yeah, I'm excited for Deadpool. Watch the leaked trailer footage and let us know if you're excited. Because normally I'm not. I'm not a Deadpool comic book fan, but I'm ready for this trailer.
Yeah. Well, hey, talking about leaked trailers, I think we got one more to talk about.
Last one, we have X-Men Apocalypse footage. Now, it's not the full trailer, sadly, but it's a few good seconds. And what do we get to see in that footage?
Oh man, we finally get to see Apocalypse.
We do, and he is a violet-headed looking motherfucker.
You know what he looks like?
What's he look like?
He looks like the bad guy from the first Power Rangers movie.
Oh, you're talking about Ivan Ooze.
Yeah, he looks like Ivan Ooze from what we get to see. Like maybe a little bit more sleek armor, but he's got like that purple vibe going on, and we only see him for a couple seconds, so I'm just assuming it's the return of Ivan Ooze. He's tired of dealing with the Power Rangers, now he wants to go after the mutants.
That'd be a deep, deep film if it was a Power Rangers film at heart. And
yeah, but I was saying earlier in the show that we did get an official poster released, and they were handing them out outside of Petco Park out there, and I didn't get a really good chance to look at it before I lost them, so I'm glad at least the poster released online. So yeah. I was gonna be coming home with some poster swag, but it's all gone now. But we got a little bit of an artistic rendering of him on there, nothing lifelikely rendered. But
so the first thing we notice about him is he's actually got like a helmet and like kind of futuristic looking. But at the same time, like in the trailer, he says he's been called by different names before, like I think it was Ra and Krishna and other like different deity names. And I like it. I'm excited. It doesn't look like Oscar Isaac, who we will see in Star Wars later this year. But something else, when we see him, who's with him?
It kind of looks like Storm, right?
It is Storm. They confirmed the 4 Horsemen this weekend as well of the Apocalypse. Are you ready for him?
Yeah, bring it on.
Angel, duh.
Okay.
Psylocke, she was also a Horseman in the comics.
Okay.
Magneto, who's in the trailer and actually says, "Who the fuck are you?" And I can't believe they said that in an X-Men movie. And lastly, Storm is the 4th one.
Now, was Magneto originally a Horseman?
I've never seen Magneto be a Horseman because he was in the comic series Age of Apocalypse. He was the leader of the X-Men. Yeah,
so I'm guessing Magneto is taking the role for Gambit then.
I mean, there's been so many different ones. Like Wolverine's is normally known as a Horseman. Okay. Honestly, I mean, they can do whatever they want. I've never seen Storm be one either. So that's definitely interesting to see what that is.
Yeah, well, it sounds like if there's been different versions, it sounds like it's okay if the movie kind of fits it. I got a little bit of some info about Psylocke. I mean, this is just totally speculation because One thing that was really awesome about this convention was Conan O'Brien went down to do all of his episodes in Comic-Con. And I only got to watch one episode, but it was really, really great. I like that he really embraced the convention, and Conan's a hilarious guy. Like, people love him. He's definitely marketed towards a younger audience. But at one point during the week, I'm pretty sure he had Olivia Munn on the show, and she was talking about how she has to squeeze into her Psylocke costume. So it sounds like it's going to be very tight and form-fitting. So that means it might be ringing more true to the comic book. You know, it doesn't sound like they're going to be doing like some sort of alternative Psylocke with like clothing. It's going to be like Psylocke and like a tight jumpsuit. So I guess that's a little bit of info that we have for Psylocke.
Yeah, and heard that, and it's set in the 80s, so 83. So I guess tight fitting clothing was pretty big in the 80s.
Oh yeah, I think that wasn't that the decade for spandex?
Oh, I think every decade's a decade for spandex. That's what I'm wearing right now.
Oh man.
But yeah, other than that first Apocalypse movie, we learned out his first power is of persuasion. Okay. How he does that, I don't know, but he's also very blue. So Apocalypse went and blew himself, to say the least.
Oh god, that's a low-hanging fruit joke right there.
It
but
really
that's
was.
that's the kind of show we are.
But if we can't give you free porn, we'll at least give you bad jokes.
Well, I mean, what X-Men are we not going to get in this movie?
We are not going to get Gambit, I'm pretty sure, in this movie. But they did, confirm that this movie's coming out, and they gave us a preliminary logo look. Yeah. And I say preliminary because, of course, logos change. We saw Suicide Squad change 3 times in like 2 weeks. But just kind of taking a look there at the image, it looks like it's a card, and then it has like his standard Gambit font from like his comic run. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, any idea there? I mean, do you have any? I mean, there's really not a lot to go on.
I have no idea. Honestly, I think the Gambit movie is totally going to be held up by the choice of the director and the writer. I think I'm not too worried about Channing Tatum. I think he's a charismatic guy, and I think that's something that Gambit needs. But I really don't know what direction they're going to take this movie. I mean, we have Apocalypse that's going to come out before the Gambit movie. We have Deadpool coming out before the Gambit movie. We have Fantastic Four coming out before the Gambit movie. So, what are we doing with this character? Is he moving the franchise along? Is this just going to be a standalone story? I don't know. Is this going to somehow lean into the next Wolverine movie? I really don't. It just seems like a weird placement of the movie. I just don't really see how it cohesively connects to everything, but I'm totally okay with maybe getting a legitimate Gambit story.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way you say it, I mean, Ant-Man's the same way this year, though. I mean, Ant-Man, when you think about it, doesn't really connect to anything off the top of your head.
Yeah, but I just think it's because we have some more concrete information of the future of Marvel's franchise. So we know how kind of Ant-Man is going to fit in the future, because we know he's going to be joining up with the Avengers. But we haven't really had any sort of announcement of what the next X-Men movie is going to be, Mm-hmm. So, is Gambit, obviously he's going to join back up with the X-Men, but, what's that next X-Men movie going to be about? I guess we just don't know much about the future of Fox right now.
Yeah, I think I view it more as like a Deadpool film. I mean, Deadpool gets it because like it's a standalone movie. Yes, it has Colossus in it, but it doesn't need to advance the X-Men story along.
Yeah. Well, Deadpool's my special little flower. So
yeah, I mean that's just kind of where I put Gambit at. Like it's a story. They have a character that they want to tell a story. And if it doesn't connect, no big deal. But, I mean, you said something about being held up by the director and the writer. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think the chops of this movie is going to come from someone that can write a really good script. I think we've talked about Gambit in the past, and I think you said you're not necessarily the biggest fan of Gambit.
I think he's more of a nostalgia character. Like, thinking back, he's good, but like if you go back and look at that now, it doesn't hold up.
Well, I'm just trying to think what kind of supports Gambit's story. Are we going to get some auxiliary mutants to move the story around? I'm not saying he's like a bad character, but he's just not. It's just not as quite as exciting as expecting like a Wolverine movie. Mm-hmm. Since we know Hugh Jackman can pull off a fucking Wolverine like no one's business. So it just kind of makes me hope that whatever director and writer they get in can really put a really nice touch to this character.
Okay, they have a director. We've reported on that, right?
I don't even remember how that had to be so long ago. See, this is kind of one of the downsides of doing a superhero show is we churn through so much news. It's hard for me to remember the finer points.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that they have a writer announced last October as well.
Oh, man. Well, it's been so long. I'm kind of worried now if I don't remember who they are. It might not be that good.
Rupert Wyatt, I mean, this was recently, like, I guess a couple weeks ago. I think it was in my old apartment. But Rupert Wyatt is a director. Mm-hmm. And a writer, Josh Zatumer, he did the RoboCop reboot, is kind of the first script writer.
Oh, God. Well, that doesn't bode well.
But he's basing it on a treatment from Chris Claremont, who is one of the most significant X-Men comic book writers. And he co-created Gambit.
Okay. Well, let's hope that we don't let any more Gambit knowledge fall through the cracks of my head.
It's okay. No one's really,
okay. It's kind of far out. So
yeah, I mean it's cool. Gambit's on the horizon, and Fox wants to take a Gambit on it. Oh
God.
I didn't mean to, but it was there.
Yeah, I guess just the biggest takeaway is that like Gambit is going to need a lot of support in the terms of writing, directing, and supporting characters to kind of make the movie stand out. Because I think Gambit alone, he needs someone to play off of. So he needs a good script to play off of or good characters to play off of. So that's total speculation, though. We have no idea what's coming out with this movie, and it sounds like it's at least 2 years away. I think, right?
No, it's next year.
Oh, geez.
It's like next August.
Oh, man, so hopefully we'll get some more news here quickly then.
Before we jump off, if you could, do you want to see Rogue appear in Gambit?
Oh, I think
a new version of Rogue.
I think that would be cool.
Okay. I know, didn't your wife dress up as Rogue one year?
Yeah, she, I think it might have been...
Like every other Tuesday, I think it is.
Yeah, anytime there's a costume that's necessary, she's kind of like you. You can hop into a costume at any given time, and she's got a collection of costumes that she can jump into, and I'm just like, where's my nerdiest T-shirt that I can wear?
Cool. So another movie coming out next year after Gambit is Doctor Strange on the Marvel front.
Man, we got some Marvel Studios news.
Yeah, this was actually a rumor that they have Rachel McAdams is eyed for the lead role.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, she's currently on the running
Detective?
season of True Detective, and so far the consensus is that season 2 of True Detective is not as good as season 1, but I think Rachel McAdams is doing a great job in the show right now, so I have no problem her getting some of that Marvel money.
Yeah, I think they tend to cast pretty good female actresses, and I don't know if it'd be one movie or multiple movies with her. But I'd put her in there. I don't see a problem.
Yeah, we never really have any problem with Marvel Studios casting. I think right now they've proven themselves really well, so they kind of have to falter before we kind of start complaining.
Yeah. Daredevil season 2 is filming right now. Just to let you know that.
Yeah, this is news that we got before Comic-Con, or I guess not connected to Comic-Con.
Right. So we got a couple images on set. Foggy and Murdock are on set. We got a set image. Take a nice look at that for a few seconds.
Avocados at law.
Exactly. The Punisher, John Bernthal, is now on set. We get a first look at how he looks. No skull, but he's also on the street in daylight, so probably doesn't want to draw attention to himself.
Yeah, it's got some motion blur to that photo too.
There's actually better ones. I will put the better ones up online.
Yeah, it looks like he's drinking frosting from a frosting can.
The first and foremost, I guess not the first, but the biggest news is they've cast Elektra.
Yeah.
Elodie Young is the actress. I don't know her. She was in the G.I. Joe second movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people have seen that G.I. Joe movie.
But there's an image. She wears a red outfit in there that looks a lot like Elektra's.
Okay.
And that looked pretty interesting to say the least. Because I'm like, well, they know she works in red. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. So I'm glad they're bringing Elektra in, and I'm excited to see that.
Oh, I think everyone out there is excited for season 2 of Daredevil. I mean, the first season was so well. We went on and on about it at length of how much we love the show. So this is all shaping up really well. I mean, just Punisher being in there was enough. So adding Elektra, it just gets better.
Yeah, it does, and I'm ready for it. And Mike, if you want to take a quick look, I sent that Punisher picture in our show notes, the new one. Do you want to take a quick look at that if you want to go over it?
Yeah.
Go over it?
Yeah, let me take a look here. Oh, yeah. He's he's looking like he stepped off the set of The Walking Dead but got a shower in between. Yeah, I don't see any skull on him quite yet, but obviously we didn't see Matt Murdock in that official Daredevil suit till the end of the season. So maybe the Punisher will wait to throw on his shirt. Well, you know what the problem is? He's got dirty laundry. He's got to go get it clean first.
He does need to go get his dirty laundry and then get plastic surgery to come back from Thomas Jane. So, yeah, anyway. At Comic-Con, you actually sent me this. They showed some of the Guardians of the Galaxy animated show there.
Yeah, I caught about 10 minutes of it, so I can't say if there was much before it because I got into the panel a little late. But yeah, I got to see some of the animation for the Guardians of the Galaxy show, and I think what I was most surprised about is I don't know if this show is going to be considered canon, but this show seems like it picks up right off after the movie. I mean, we see Yondu in the show, and not just kind of like a version of Yondu. All of these characters look like their designs are pulled directly from the films, and even I saw Groot in the potted plant, which makes me think it is right off the heels of the show. So
yeah, I think yes, and I don't think it's canon for the Marvel Cinematic Universe because their animated characters live in their own universe. It's kind of like Spider-Man and the Avengers. Like the Avengers Assemble show kind of picked up where the movie left off, but spins off into its own thing. So I think it won't be canon, but I mean, like they've had Guardians of the Galaxy in almost all their animated shows now. And now it gets its own show. Did you like the art style? That's something I've kind of been on the fence with about that. Did you like the art style of it?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I've seen it decently in some light. I felt like it went scene to scene. Some scenes, the art looked very, very well because the kind of the space, the galaxy lighting worked really, really well on the characters. But there were some scenes where like Rocket's face kind of looked really janky, looked very strange to look at. So I didn't really get any sort of strange like artistic vibe off of it. It kind of looked like maybe just some of the stuff was a little rushed. But I think all that stuff kind of gets better as the animators get more used to the character designs and things like that. I believe they said in the panel that they're on episode 8 of post-production, so it sounds like they're churning along pretty well. But I also got the vibe from the director, I guess not the director, but the lead of Marvel Animation is it seems about 50 episodes seems to be a good run for them. It seems like they're not looking to turn any of these shows into some long-running series. Someone got up at the panel and asked a question if Guardians is taking over for Agents of Smash for Hulk, because I guess that show just recently ended. And they said, you know, Hulk ran for a good like 50 episodes. It was a strong show. It ended with a bang, so we're replacing it with Guardians. So it sounds like, you know, Marvel Animation likes to adapt these stories into animated series, but they don't necessarily need them to go on super long. So I think that kind of might be a thorn in some people's sides because, you know, I know you really liked Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but it sounds like kids have short attention spans and they kind of need to re-up every once in a while, you know?
It's true. What I've actually been impressed is the Ultimate Spider-Man series is on its 3rd season. It's been renewed for a 4th. And so has the Avengers Assemble series. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I don't know. I don't think they've canceled Agents of Smash yet, though.
Oh well, it sounds like they're I don't know if is that exclusive Superhero Slate news. I don't know, but it sounds like Agents of Smash is kind of done with its run, I guess at least for now. So it sounds like Guardians is taking up the slot.
Yeah, I definitely could see that. Agents of Smash isn't something I'd see. I never watched it. I had every intention to, but they had, you know, Seth Green as one of the main voices. So I'm kind of you know, interested to see if that really is canceled or, you know, what's going on with that, because I'm definitely intrigued. Because I'm not gonna probably watch Guardians, to be honest. I'm, as much as I love animated television shows, like you said, there's so much time in the day we can only put in for it.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is kind of something that you watch maybe when it comes to Netflix, you know, when you can kind of just sit down on a Saturday and just kind of digest a dozen episodes.
Yeah. Speaking of Netflix, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 is on Netflix. I push that every week. But they announced some stuff for Season 3 this weekend. One of the Inhumans created in the brand new Inhuman series, Marvel, Lash, is actually coming to Season 3.
Oh, so now who is Lash?
He is the Inhumans. How they had like the hidden like temple there, like, in the show. Well, they're not the only ones. There are other Inhuman tribes across the world, and he is the leader of one called the Arolans.
Oh, cool.
And he actually has the ability to like absorb Inhumans like into him and get stronger with that in the comics. Again, they could do what they want with the series, but he was recently created in the past like 2 years, so that's interesting. They're pulling newer characters into that show so quickly.
I mean, I'm really starting to get the vibe from Marvel Studios that Inhumans are extraordinarily important to them now, because I think what they decided a while ago was it doesn't sound like we're going to be getting the rights to mutants back anytime soon. So basically, we kind of need to turn Inhumans kind of into mutants. We need to easily be able to come up with superpowered characters and not have to establish them in their own franchise or movie. To bring them to light, there just needs to be superpowered people on the planet, and we don't have time to explain it. So I got that vibe, very much, because I believe, if I am remembering this correctly, in the comic books, I think they kind of retconned the twins, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. I think they kind of retconned their history. I don't know what storyline it was, but I don't think they're officially Magneto's kids anymore. They're Inhumans.
They never were to begin with. They've had different parents about 4 times now.
Okay.
The longest running series is that they were his parents. Like Magneto, it was his children. But that's definitely not always been the case.
Yeah, but it just sounds like Inhumans are basically going to be the mutants now. So it kind of, I don't know. It doesn't really make me nervous or anything. I just kind of have to get used to the idea that Inhumans are basically alien mutants, and they've been established, and we just need them now.
I wouldn't say they're alien mutants. I think they're just humans with mutant or alien DNA in them.
Yeah, it's all kind of, it's not...
It's the same as mutants. Like, your ability will manifest itself one day, and you don't know what it'll be.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite as pretty and clean of a story as it is mutants, because it's just genetic. It just happens. You don't have to explain mutants, which is the best part about them. And humans take a little bit of explaining, but, kind of deviating from this topic a little bit, my wife was able to attend the Marvel television panel because she got to the convention before I could on Friday. So, and she said she got a little bit of exclusive news from them, from the panel about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Lay it on me.
Well, so I guess it's not really a spoiler, but I guess if you really want to be totally out of the dark, I guess maybe just skip ahead a minute or so. But we have a quote-unquote dead character coming back to life, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Trip. Yeah, but yeah, he's the guy, if you remember, disintegrated in the temple chamber next to Sky when they unleashed that the Inhuman, the Targaryen mist or whatever it's called. So she said that he is coming back. He is making his return to the show, which leads me to believe that maybe he was indeed an Inhuman, and he just kind of disappeared, and he's going to be coming back, kind of like Dr. Manhattan did in Watchmen.
See, I'm not sure. Inhumans go to the Chrysalis form, the kind of catalyst. I don't know if he'd be that, but I could definitely see S.H.I.E.L.D. having the ability, or some Inhuman having the ability to maybe bring people back to the dead, or maybe something along those lines.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that. That could be possible. Maybe Trip was a clone or something, and they've just been cloning him like they did with Patton Oswalt. Maybe they're just churning out clones over there, or body doubles. But yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy that they're bringing him back. That seemed pretty definitive, when someone kind of literally turns the dust all Voldemort style. You just kind of assume they're gone.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it's interesting as well because, I mean, if you think about the end of that series, Agent Simmons was absorbed by that big brick thing. And, at that panel, it said she was very dead. But it also, at the same time, like, she's signed on for a series regular for season 3.
Well, yeah, I think that's just really bad, a diversion. I think they're just trying to tell you she's gone. But she's on the S.H.I.E.L.D. 3 poster.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she's dead. I just, who knows what kind of diversions they could be doing because they're dicks.
Yeah. Maybe it's just going to be a long arc. Maybe it's going to be she's going to surprise and show up at like mid-season finale or something like that.
Yeah. Speaking of Marvel TV, Agent Carter's coming back in between S.H.I.E.L.D.'s break. And I get a couple tidbits. One was Comic-Con and one was not. Mm-hmm. The first one is that Dominic Cooper will be coming back as Howard Stark again.
Ooh.
Awesome. I like him. He makes a great Howard Stark. And lastly, we will meet Mrs. Jarvis this season.
Oh. Well, we got some news from Agent Carter, too, while we were at the con. This was kind of cool because we actually got to meet one of the Season 2 writers. We went to some really cool television writing panels, and after one that we went to, we went outside and we kind of shook hands and met one of the writers that's been tapped for Season 2. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head, but his first name was Brandon. He actually has his own podcast. I think it's called like The Two Brandons, and I think the other Brandon is a producer, and I'm not too sure what they talk about. I don't know if they talk about just geek stuff in general, but we were talking to him outside in the hallway, and it sounds like, from what I've been hearing, like Marvel is really going full speed with this Season 2 of Agent Carter. It seemed we were kind of worried about Agent Carter in the past. We weren't sure if it was getting the second season. It wasn't getting the best reviews. You were particularly angry because it wasn't on TV when it said it was going to be on TV.
I blame my local networks. Those
fuckers. Yeah, but still, it was being pushed around by basketball games and stuff. But it sounds like they're really excited for the second season, and I'm hoping it really comes hard. I'm hoping we get some really.
That is what she said.
But I think this is going to be great. Haley Atwell was at Comic-Con. It looks like she was having a great time. I saw her doing some group shots with some other women dressed as Agent Carter, which is a really easy cosplay to pull off, but it really looks elegant because you can pull it off really, really well on the cheap. So I think that's why we saw a lot of Agent Carters out there. But I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm excited. Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the last seasons, will be on DVD in September. Mm-hmm. So I just got that this week as well. So I'm excited to buy those in September, add them to my collection. And hopefully, that's right around when Season 3 kicks off of S.H.I.E.L.D., so boss. Next up, Star Wars.
Star Wars!
There you go. If you didn't do it, someone was going to write it to us and be mad. So the panel for Comic-Con for Star Wars is probably the biggest thing. They have a whole video based on behind-the-scenes footage, which you can watch in the notes below.
And I have not seen it yet, so I don't know how much we're going to talk about that.
Probably not very much. We're over an hour already, and I'm kind of... We still got a lot to go. First off, early in the week, they had a movie slate leak, they said.
This was kind of the biggest news before the con happened.
And they didn't do it at the con, so I'm curious. Maybe they decided to hold it back for D23. But, we get Star Wars The Force Awakens, Episode 8 and Episode 9, right? Rogue One, which actually starts filming in 3 weeks, by the way.
Ooh, set photos.
Yes, starts filming, and Darth Vader is going to appear in it. That's exciting. So that's actually my next news segment, so we just cut it out right there. We also got that, Han Solo movie announced last week.
Yeah, that I think I want to touch on that real quick.
Oh, that's below. That was this week. I'm sorry. I thought that we already covered that.
No.
Sorry, but that was announced, and according to this page, it's a Boba Fett solo film.
Yeah, so this is what I'm trying to figure out. So, all right, so I'm looking at the image right now, and if you're watching our show on YouTube, you're all looking at the slate right now too. So, we all knew we were going to get 3 Star Wars movies. We all knew about Rogue One because that was the first anthology film announced, and I think we have a really good idea what Rogue One's going to be. So we have this Fett. It says Fett/Solo. So is that supposed to be a play on a Han Solo?
No, that's not the title. That's just the film's premise.
Yeah, or is it? Because looking at this, it looks like Fett/Solo Han Solo. And if this is an anthology movie where we're presumably seeing Fett in the past, who knows? Maybe they're even delving further back in the past, and we're going to be seeing Fett when he's chasing Han Solo around the galaxy. We all know that he's tried many a times to get Han Solo. So I guess the first thing that popped into in my head, if this is possible, we kind of have to recast Han Solo if we're going to see him younger. It doesn't really make much sense to show older Harrison Ford trying to play younger. I don't know. It just seemed kind of weird. Like, why do you do Fett Solo right there? It just seems bizarre.
Well, I think we're going to get on that next. But they also announced they didn't announce, this is a leaked image of Kenobi, the Balance of the Force.
Yeah.
Which we kind of covered an Obi-Wan Kenobi with Ewan McGregor taking place between episodes 3 and 4, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's great. That's about all we have. Oh, there's an image from villains, but we're going to come back to this Han Solo thing on the next bit. It's our next topic. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great. So they also showed an image of villains this weekend. We get to Kylo Ren is the Sith Lord. The evil villain is General Hux, and that's played by Domhnall Gleeson. And lastly, Captain Phasma, Gwendolyn Christie in her Chrome Stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah, she's going to be known as the Chrome Trooper because I think that's the cooler name.
Yeah, it definitely is. And they are in, they operate out of it's called Starkiller Base, which you may reference as that was actual Luke Skywalker's original name in the first draft of the films.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a subtle nod to that. That's crazy. But that was, other than that, watch the video for the Star Wars thing and come back to us. We may talk about it more next week.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it yet, so I'd like to watch it.
It's pretty awesome. A lot of people are psyched. The panel, after they showed all this stuff, J.J. Abrams took everyone to a personal Star Wars concert next door at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, cool.
It was outdoor and gave everyone a lightsaber, a plastic lightsaber.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, so if anything, that would have been the one to go to. Star Wars Anthology Film 2 was announced this week. Based on Han Solo, with Phil Lord and Chris Miller directing. They're known for the Lego Movie, 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street.
Okay, so now I'm even more confused. I believe last week or the week before we said that this was going to be a Boba Fett movie, but now it sounds like a Han Solo movie. What is going on with this anthology film? It's bizarre.
Well, I mean, no one ever said the Boba Fett stuff was all rumors, and this was not the one Josh Trank was working on before he was fired. But this is the official information that it's Han Solo based, and according to that image we kind of saw, I think it's a younger Han Solo set between episodes 3 and 4. And we'll have Boba Fett as the antagonist in the film.
This is bizarre, because if I think we are to assume that this slate will be announced at D23. So I believe this is going to be the chronological order is what we're looking at here. So we're kind of ending this Star Wars. I almost want to call it Star Wars Phase 1, because I'm almost expecting more movies past these 6, just because I feel like they're just not going to be able to let it go. And it just kind of seems weird to end this brand new awakening of Star Wars with an anthology film. I feel like it should end on like a new Star Wars Episode 9. But it just seems bizarre. I mean, how do you recast one of the most iconic sci-fi characters, Han Solo, as just so he can look younger to fit in your story? I feel like this is really strange.
I don't. I think it's fine. Like, they recast Obi-Wan Kenobi to look younger for the prequel trilogies. They redid Darth Vader to be younger, technically Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, but we had never really seen them younger before.
Well, we've never seen young Han Solo before.
Well, it depends what you consider young Han Solo, because the Han Solo we saw in the original Star Wars movies is not going to be that far removed from the Han Solo we're going to see in this film. I just think like it's kind of a weird conundrum where it's just like you kind of got to find someone that kind of looks like him and can portray Han Solo, but I feel like no matter what way you do it, it's going to seem awkward. I feel like the only way to make the fans happy is cast Chris Pratt as him, but I think that's already kind of weird considering he's kind of already Han Solo when he's Star-Lord. So I don't know. I really kind of have to see what this title is going to be. Like, I don't like the idea of recasting any of these characters just because, we got them back for these new movies. We don't need to somehow make a story about the younger versions of them. I don't know. It just seems really weird. I definitely need to know more about this anthology film for sure.
It comes out May 25th, 2018, if that helps. So you have less than 3 years before it'll be in theaters. But again, I'm gonna just go on record here to disagree with everything you say on that. I think they can recast them, and anthology films are to tell the stories between the movies, and to get Harrison Ford, I mean, that guy's going to keel over any minute now.
Oh, God, don't say that.
I'm just going to be honest. He about killed himself in an airplane crash or helicopter crash. They've got him for the 6 or 7, 8, 9, and that's really all they need him for. So, yeah, anyway. Star Wars has a Han Solo movie coming by really reputable directors, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I think the quality will be well, but let's just hope no sort of crazy, kooky casting happens. But I'm sure we will talk about this at length once D23 rolls around.
Yeah, I expect a lot to be then. Next up, Ghostbusters. We get to see a first, like I'm calling it the Ecto Cruiser, play on words off the Ecto Cooler. Technically, it's just called the Ecto 1. That was the name in the movies, apparently. And this looks exactly like what I imagine an Ecto 1 would look like. Yeah,
it's kind of looks like what is that, a Cadillac maybe?
I wouldn't go that far. It looks like a hearse. We
got another hearse. Anyway, it looks good. It looks on point. But like we've said before, and if you're new to listening to the show this week, specifically for Comic-Con, we're not haters of Ghostbusters. They just weren't a big part of our childhood, so we're not too precious with the film. So we just want a funny, entertaining movie. And from the casting that we've had so far, we're not really nervous. So I think that it's kind of cool to see the vehicles, and it looks like they got another vehicle added here, some sort of dirt bike.
Yeah, it's called the Ecto 2. It's like a little dirt bike kind of thing, and they didn't have one of those before, so I'm kind of excited to see where this goes.
I think they're trying to weave velociraptors into this with that dirt bike.
Velociraptor ghosts are probably the worst.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I bring this up all the time. Why are all the ghost people from like the Civil War era? If ghosts exist, there's ghost dinosaurs, and the Ghostbusters need to get those ghost dinosaurs. Because I mean, they always say you become a ghost if you have like unfinished business to take care of. I mean, I think the entire race of dinosaurs is nothing but unfinished business because they're killed by a meteor. I mean,
what kind of business would they have to finish though? They're just dinosaurs.
No, they got business. They got problems. They got their own problems, man. We just don't understand.
We don't understand dinosaur problems. I think you're right. Well, maybe they are just misunderstood giant ass monsters like in Pacific Rim.
Oh, nice segue, man.
Thank you. Pacific Rim 2 starts filming this November.
Oh yeah, man. The first Pacific Rim was like a smash out, just fun fest. For me, when that came out, 2 summers ago?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, man, that was so much fun. So I'm totally looking forward to the second one. We talk about Guillermo del Toro not being able to finish anything that's announced, but this is announced, and it sounds like once they get that camera rolling, I'm going to feel a lot less nervous.
Yeah, he's finally actually working on a movie, thankfully. And it's not other than that haunted house movie that's coming out did. Like red something Burgundy Hill. I don't know what it's called.
I don't know what it is.
Fuck it. Either way, yeah, I want to see some robots smash each other up. I want to see where that story goes. I think it was a great story, had a lot of potential, and we need to explore it.
Cool, and it was just fun.
And it was fun. God damn, it was fun.
I just want more fun. And as rumors have been kicking around, it's in the same kind of studio production company that's connected to Godzilla, and I think one other, and King Kong. So people are saying that, possibly we could get some sort of crazy crossover. I don't know how realistic that is. I think King Kong and Godzilla meeting each other makes a little bit more sense than somehow a giant Pacific Rim robot getting in there. But fuck, you can make it. I'll go see it.
Yeah. It's Legendary who owns it, and Legendary owns a lot of really crazy stuff. And it'd be interesting to see everything.
Yeah. And kind of speaking of legends, it sounds like that we're going to get a legend in our next season of The Flash.
Right. Actually, that's pretty good for the next 2 topics, actually. Jay Garrick is one of the original Green Lanterns from the Silver Age.
Original Flash.
Sorry, Flash. Damn it. Sorry. Original Flash. There was an original Green Lantern too that we've never seen.
Yeah, we'll just chalk it up to it was like an audible typo is what it is. Like your mouth just didn't know what it was doing.
Pretty much. So at the end of Flash season 1, you see his metal helmet come out of a hole, and Harrison Wells is like, "That's trouble."
Yeah, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, so they've already cast him. An actor named Jay Sears will be Jay Garrick in season 2 of The Flash.
Oh wow, I didn't know they cast him, but yeah, my wife, who's been keeping up with The Flash, who's wrote a spec script and has been kind of reading up on the history of The Flash, digesting some of the comic books. She was stoked when she saw that helmet pop out. So I think that's awesome to bring him in.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think his name's actually Teddy Sears, and whatever I was a typo for Jay Garrick.
Oh, okay.
So it's Teddy Sears. I don't know what he's been in. Really, he looks like an older Flash. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you look him up, he's like most recent TV show he's in Masters of Sex.
Oh, okay.
And some American Horror Story. So.
Yeah, well, I mean,
shit happens.
I'm not too worried about it. I think it'll be fun. I love that the show is going to start bringing in all these different Flashes and other universes because the Flash show is so much fun.
It is
so
fun.
It's all good. It's all good news.
Yes, and lastly, the DC's Legends of Tomorrow has confirmed Hawkman will appear alongside Hawkgirl, who we've confirmed being in the show already, but we weren't sure if Hawkman was going to be in it.
Well, they gotta reuse those CG wing assets somewhere, so they're gonna bring in Hawkman, I guess. I think this is cool. This is like brand new to me. I think Legends of Tomorrow is gonna be like a crazy miniseries. I'm really looking forward to that. Seeing all these kind of not necessarily misfit heroes, but all these kind of other heroes join together and some villains. So
yeah, not necessarily heroes. It's kind of like a PG Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but yeah, I think this is gonna be fun. The TV universe that's being built around these DC characters has just been a blast, and I like that we're adding more characters like Hawkman. That'll be super cool. We'll get to see some maces flying around.
Yeah, definitely. I'm ready to see Legends of Tomorrow. I'm ready to see The Flash season 2. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like TV. I'm waiting for TV to come back to me because I need something.
Yeah,
like right now I'm kind of struggling.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weak summer, but I think that's just a good theme of this whole podcast. Is there's so much to look forward to. We got so much news this week, and it's just so much to take in.
Yeah. Speaking of TV, I'm actually watching How I Met Your Mother for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like 4 seasons in, almost to 5, and I've laughed twice.
Oh really? Well,
that show doesn't tickle my funny bone.
Well then, I don't think that's not boding well for you because kind of the first 2/3 of the series is the best. The last couple seasons, you definitely feel them stretching the show to get a couple extra seasons out of the story. And I'm already going to tell you you're not going to like. Well, it sounds like you're not too invested, so maybe you won't care. But the series finale sucks.
I've heard that. I heard that. So yeah, I just kind of want to throw that out there. Like I'm just biding my time while watching a show I didn't really want to watch.
Yeah. Well, real quick, kind of before we wrap up the show, my wife was nice enough to send me over the information of that independent artist that I met at the con. His name is Josh Shalek. He writes the Falling Rock National Park series. It's kind of cool. He described it to us as just the inhabitants of a national park, and just kind of like it's just kind of like a anthropomorphic animals. It looks like it's going to be a fun series. I kind of liked his hand inking art style in the books, but I guess you can check him out at joshshalek.com, JOSHSHALEK.com. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I want to add him in there.
We'll put it in the notes if you didn't get Mike's spelling because I might have missed it. Go to our show notes. And
I'll update it for everybody out there. But yeah, that'll be kind of cool. Give him some love. Let him know that Superhero Slate sent you.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, we've gone. This is one of our longer shows lately.
I think it was well deserved with what happened this week.
And honestly, there's so much going on. If you have not seen the leaked footage, go to our show notes, click on the links, watch the leaked footage before people come and tell us to take them down. That's very important.
Yeah, we'll do our best to put up alternatives, but we're
at the mercy of the government at this point.
Yeah, we're at the mercy. Yeah.
So that's it for the show, Mike. People want to follow your adventures in California. How can they do that?
Well, they can follow me at Mike Royer Design on Twitter and Instagram, and I write the webcomic pickledcomics.com. I put out a Comic-Con comic last week. Got a pretty good response to the comic book community. I thought it was pretty funny. They seem to get a good giggle out of it. But yeah, I try to put out comics every week. So yeah, check it out at picklecomics.com. But Chris, if they want to follow your crazy shenanigans in the Midwest, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at Valdan on Twitter.com. That's VALDAN. Also, you can read some notes on comicui.com. You can go to comicui.com or our Facebook page. I'm going to be trying to update it with all the San Diego stuff today or tomorrow because we've been busy this weekend. And go to superheroslate.com. That's where we put all our stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Visit the website, and this is a weekly show, guys. Every Monday, you can catch up on all the superhero news that came out because we're nice guys and we like to curate it and deliver it to you in nice audible morsels for your ears. But yeah, go to superheroslate.com. You can find us on SoundCloud, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter. Oh God,
Google
we're everywhere.
Just
Where
Google
else
us.
are we? Yeah, we got RSS feeds. We're coming out we're gushing out the butt.
that is wow.
I couldn't even really get it out. But,
now again,
yeah.
stop. Think about what you say before you say stuff like that.
Yeah, and of course, always if you like the show, leave us a review on iTunes. That's the best way to spread the love, spread the gospel of Superhero Slate. And please, if you're new to the show from the stickers that I handed out at Comic-Con, tweet at us. I'd love to mention you guys on the show next week.
Hashtag Superhero Slate. On Twitter, Instagram, wherever you put it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to tell people next week we're going to have another spoiler cast for Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, things are going to be pretty crazy on my schedule next week, but that's not stopping us from enjoying Ant-Man and bringing you our thoughts.
Yeah,
so
I just kind of put the expectation. We're not going to do an hour and a half long episode on Ant-Man. I think we're shooting for 10 to 20 minutes just for a spoiler cast.
It's going to be an Ant-Man size spoiler cast.
Yeah, and I think as the title suggests, there will be spoilers. So watch Ant-Man before you come in next week to listen to our spoiler cast.
Yeah, so the regular show next week will give you our initial thoughts, and then after you listen to that, you can head on over to our spoiler cast, which uploads with all of our normal feeds.
Or go to the spoiler cast first. I don't care. As long as you're listening to us.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Go crazy.
Shit.
Don't watch the movie. Listen to the spoiler cast. Do it in some sort of crazy machete
Just
order.
the spoiler cast, none other of our episodes. Just that one.
Yeah. Come back next week, everybody.
Yeah, and we hope to see you there.
All right, bye, guys.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.